Imagine having only 30 days to choose a bride, or you lose a multi-billion-dollar empire to the one person who wants to see you fail. Today's story takes us straight into the glamorous, high-stakes world of the Lagos elite, where a fake contract accidentally sparks a very dangerous game of love, greed, and betrayal. Trust me, you do not want to miss the massive twist at the end of this journey. So, if you love thrilling, high society dramas, hit that subscribe button right now and join our storytelling family. But before this story gets even more intense, take a quick moment to drop a comment below, letting me know the country you are watching from. Done? Good. Let's find out if money can truly buy love. The afternoon sun beat down on the sleek, emerald-tinted glass of Coker Towers in Victoria Island, but inside the penthouse office, the air was freezing. Adewale Coker stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, his tailored charcoal suit fitting his broad frame perfectly. At 30, Adewale was the undisputed king of Lagos mobility and auto finance. He had built a digital empire on cold logic, data, and relentless grit. But today, logic failed him. Behind him sat Chief Olanrewaju Coker, his 75-year-old grandfather, leaning heavily on a gold-topped walking cane. "You have 30 days, Adewale," the patriarch's voice boomed, leaving no room for negotiation. "I am stepping down from the chairmanship. The family trust rules are clear. To inherit the ultimate voting rights of Coker, mobility and finance, you must be a family man. You must choose a respectable, stable bride and marry. If you remain single by the end of the month, the chairmanship and the controlling shares revert to your cousin, Segun." Adewale turned, his jaw clenched, his dark eyes burning. "Segun is a liability, grandfather. He will run this company into the ground in 6 months. You are forcing me to find a wife just to keep what I built. I am forcing you to have a life outside of numbers, Adewale." Chief Olanrewaju replied calmly, rising to his feet. 30 days. The clock is ticking. After his grandfather left, Adewale sat at his desk, his mind racing. He pulled out his phone, scrolling through names of women he dated. Mary. She was beautiful, fashionable, and ready for a spotlight. He considered introducing her as his fiancée, but as he looked at her photo, he heard his grandfather's voice from years ago. "Don't mistake high society ornaments for a life partner, Adewale. Those girls love the title, not the man." Adewale sighed, dropped his phone face down on the desk, and realized he couldn't play that game. He needed someone real. Furious and suffocated, Adewale drove out of Victoria Island that evening, needing to escape the flashing lights of the paparazzi. He found himself navigating the bustling streets of Lekki Phase 1. Needing a quiet place to clear his head, he spotted a warm, golden glow spilling onto the pavement from a boutique cafe named the Sweet Spoon Bistro. He pushed the door open. The air was thick with the scent of vanilla, cinnamon, and freshly baked red velvet. "We are closing in 5 minutes, sir," a melodious but firm voice announced. Adewale didn't care. He pulled out a crisp bundle of $100 bills and dropped it onto the counter. "I need the entire shop to myself for an hour. Lock the door and turn off the lights." The woman behind the counter turned. Bisola Mensah looked at the money, then up at Adewale's arrogant, stressed face. Without a word, she picked up the cash, neatly folded it, and slid it right back across the marble. "My bistro is not a private rental for stressed billionaires, Mr. Coker," Bisola said, her voice laced with wit. "I have 2 customers finishing their tea, and I will not throw them out for your ego. If you want a pastry, sit down. If you want an empire to command, go back to your tower." Adewale was stunned. In Lagos, his name made people bow. Yet this woman, in a flower-dusted apron, looked at him like he was an annoyance. For the first time in years, Adewale was speechless. The next morning, Adewale's legal team discovered that the Sweet Spoon Bistro was facing an illegal eviction from a predatory developer. Adewale saw an opportunity. Later that afternoon, his sleek black SUV pulled up outside a bakery. He found Bisola buried under a mountain of spreadsheets, exhausted but defiant. "You again," she sighed, not looking up. "We are not catering corporate events." "I'm not here for a pastry, Bisola," Adewale said, placing a legal document on her desk. "I know about the eviction. I know you need 20 million naira to save this building." Bisola's posture stiffened. "I don't accept charity." "It's not charity. It's a merger," Adewale said, leaning in. "I need a bride for 30 days. You need to save your dream. Act as my fiancé. convince the board, and the moment the chairmanship is secured, I will deed this building to you legally. A strict business contract, no strings attached. Bisola stared at him. She looked at the bakery, the tiles she had scrubbed, the life she had built. She looked back at the cold, calculating billionaire. 1 month, she whispered. Strictly professional. Strictly professional. Adewale agreed, extending his hand. When her soft hand met his firm grip, an unexpected spark shot up his arm. The transformation began immediately, but Bisola had a mission. She knew she needed Chief Olanrewaju to truly accept her. When she met him at the Ikoyi estate, she didn't use high society talk. She noticed his tremor, his dietary needs. She cooked for him, sat with him, and shared stories of old Lagos. A genuine warmth touched the patriarch deeply. However, during a dinner at a rooftop restaurant, Adewale pressed her for personal details to fool the press. Tell me something about yourself. Your family. Bisola's eyes grew sad. Suddenly she stood up. I need to use the restroom, she mumbled. She left the event, and when Adewale went to find her, she was gone. Her shop was closed. Days passed. He called, he messaged, but silence. Adewale was depressed, wondering if he had offended her. Finally, he found her at the back door of the bistro. He rushed to her. Bisola, why? Why did you leave without a word? Why the silence? She invited him in, poured him juice, and began to cry. I don't really have a family, Adewale. My daddy died when I was little. My mother passed away from a terrible illness, and my heart broke watching her miss him so much. I am a lonely girl, my best friend, and her parents became my home. They saved me. She wiped a tear. When my mom was sick, a mysterious benefactor anonymously paid for her treatments. It gave us 6 more months together. I never got to thank them. Adewale looked down at his plate, a strange, quiet expression crossing his face. Adewale didn't know what to say. He reached out and grabbed her apron. Let's bake, just for a moment. Forget the world outside. For the next 4 hours, the billionaire tycoon became an apprentice. Bisola taught him how to knead dough, standing close behind him, guiding his large hands with her own. There was an intense, breathless heat between them that had nothing to do with the ovens. They laughed when Adewale accidentally turned the mixer on too high, sending a cloud of white flour exploding over his face and hair. As Bisola giggled, wiping a stray smudge of flour from his cheek, the laughter died down, replaced by a thick, heavy silence. He looked at her lips, his heart racing. In that messy, flour-dusted kitchen, the fake contract didn't matter. They were just two people finding home in each other. You're a good man, Adewale, Bisola whispered, brushing flour off his shoulders. I'm not, he replied, wanting her to see the truth. Come with me. Adewale hid a massive secret. He was a fiercely cheerful giver. Where are we going? Bisola asked as he drove her to a serene, gated compound. The sign read, The Coker Haven for the Elderly. I opened this charity in honor of my parents, Adewale said quietly. My grandfather took care of me when they died, so I built a sanctuary for those who have no one. Bisola watched in awe as the cold billionaire laughed with the elders, handing out gifts. He was a different man here, gentle, kind, and generous. While checking the sponsorship logs, Bisola's eyes fell upon a familiar name, Mrs. Mensah. Her breath hitched. The dates matched perfectly. The anonymous grant that saved her mother had come directly from this secret charity. Tears spilled from her eyes as she confronted him. It was you. You helped my mother. Adewale looked vulnerable. I didn't know it was your mother until I reviewed your file. I'm just glad we had that time. In that moment, the walls shattered. But while love bloomed, trouble brewed. Segun Coker discovered the wire transfers and the fake contract. You think you are clever, cousin? Segun whispered, locking the papers in his briefcase. Let's see how grandfather likes a bride bought with corporate funds. He ordered the press to the Grand Coker family gala. The execution of Adewale's career was set. The gala was spectacular. But suddenly, Segun took the microphone. We are here to celebrate Adewale's bride, but Adewale hasn't found love. He's found a business partner to scam our grandfather. The screens flashed the contract. The crowd erupted in shock. Segun shouted, She is a paid actress. Adewale stepped forward to shield Bisola, ready to forfeit everything. But Bisola grabbed his arm. She walked to the stage, took the mic, and stood tall. The documents are real, Bisola's voice rang out, fearless. It started as a deal. I was a lonely girl trying to save her dream, but you cannot write a contract for the human heart. She turned to Adewale. I stayed because I fell in love with the true man, the man who secretly builds homes for the elderly, the man whose charity gave my dying mother 6 months of life, long before he knew my name. He wears armor to protect his family, but his heart is gold. If standing by him means he loses this empire, then let him lose it, because we will build a new one on truth, not greed. Silence. Then Chief Olanrewaju stood up, smiling. Do you really think I am an old fool, Adewale? The chief boomed. I knew about your contract, but I watched this young woman. She didn't seek my wealth. She gave me the warmth of a granddaughter. She taught you how to be human. He turned to Segun. Your malicious attempt to humiliate this family proves you are unfit. You are stripped of your board seat. Get out. 1 year later, on the white sands of Lekki, Adewale and Bisola shared their first dance as husband and wife. Letting you break through my walls, Adewale whispered, was the greatest decision I ever made. It wasn't a business decision, Bisola smiled. It was destiny. And out of all the business decisions Adewale ever made, letting Bisola change his life was truly the best one. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Adewale made the right choice, risking his empire for love? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below so we can create more unpredictable stories like this. If this kept you hooked, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with a friend, and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next story.